Guys, welcome to Barcelona. Good morning, or wherever you are. This is episode number 6, Culés Only Podcast. So, guys, get into it. It's the preseason. It's the first game tomorrow. Barcelona kicks off the preseason 2025 2026. And we are going to be talking about all kinds of topics. The training, the first training. There was a little spat between John Laporta already and Hansi Flick. There's always something, right? There's always something to talk about, which is great. But guys, let me introduce you guys. Someone who's just making his debut on the channel, who is going to be talking with me, and his name is Kevin. What is going on, Kevin? How are you?
What's up, bro? Everything's great. Excited here for the preseason, man. How are you?
Good, man. So, talk to me. Did you just started your channel?
Yes, I just started Blaugrana Zone. It's a channel where I'm going to be talking about everything Barca. I want to do watch-alongs, hate watch-alongs, obviously, with some of the Real Madrid games. Definitely just all content Barca. I'm planning to go to El Clásico this season, so there's going to be videos about that too. So just expect a lot of great things.
Oh wow, that's so cool to hear, man. So guys, if you are if we're looking for new content, Kevin's great, man. And if you guys can subscribe and show some love, that would really also mean a lot to me. So what about the preseason, Kevin? What are you saying, man? Like right now, Barcelona, as we speak, they're in Japan. They had the first training, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to be adding something that's kind of developing right now, which is kind of an interesting thing. It's like Laporta and Hansi Flick already kind of like not mad at each other, but you can clearly see that Hansi Flick, it's not happy about the fact that
Yeah.
Barcelona landed kind of late and they have a game tomorrow. But before you go, I'm gonna ask the chat to get into the chat, guys. Get in the chat. Also, like the stream so we can get to more people. That would mean the world to me. So if you guys can like this stream and also comment and let me know the chat. And if you guys are excited about tomorrow's game against Vissel, right? Vissel.
Yeah.
So what are you saying, man? What's going on with Hansi Flick and John Laporta right off the bat? I guess some Flick's not happy about something here.
Yeah, I think that they're just clashing heads. I think for it's an iron sharpens iron type of situation. I think that they have the same goal in mind, so them clashing heads isn't a bad thing. It just means that they're expressing what they want done at the club. Hansi Flick has always been an intense coach, so this isn't surprising to come from him. I'm just glad that they're on the same team. That they're obviously not
Mhm.
trying to go against each other. They don't want something negative for the club. So as long as they're working towards the same goal, I say that this is nothing really.
Yeah, no, and some people. I saw one content creator. I can't remember his name. He was already making a video that they're mad at each other, which is insane. I
That's true.
think Hansi Flick is just frustrated because we saw what happened with the no. We're going to Japan. We're not going to Japan.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
one thing that I thought it was really interesting though is like Hansi Flick before the flight, he knew where we're gonna land 24 hours before the game, and it was
Yeah,
just going to be a quick training. It was just going to be something quick, probably some drills or something, getting to know the field or whatever, which is
yeah.
what players will normally do in that situation. But I think it was just telling, like maybe it's something else because what's new to Flick right now that he hasn't seen or that he doesn't know about as far as like landing 24 hours before before the game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. When you look at it that way, that's a perspective that I didn't really think about. But I'm really hoping that it's nothing too serious or it has nothing to do with the game. Because
Uh-huh.
like you were saying, all the reports about we're going, we're not going, the game is on, promoter scammed. I had no idea what was going on. So I'm sure there has to be a little bit of frustration about that, like behind the scenes.
This video from Barca times, I thought it was really interesting. Like Rashford already racket four, I guess is what we're gonna call him this season.
Yeah.
He's already scoring some bangers, man. What do you
Yeah.
I was saying, man? I'm a
I
little
was
impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's just a few
Mhm.
clips. He probably missed some shots. I don't. He's not perfect or whatever, but it's just
Right.
kind of cool. It's just kind of cool to see Rashford like getting into it already with the
Yeah.
Barca kid, man. I'm not
I
gonna lie.
was I was watching this earlier and I was like, bro, there's no way they're already banging on John Garcia like this. But I was like, this might be a good sign because John Garcia is a very good goalie. So if they're getting these kind of shots in at practice, I'm hoping to see this in game as well.
Yeah, I know, and the one thing I'm thinking is like Dude, even Joan Garcia right now. I'm gonna show it right now. Actually, that this is kind of cool. I've seen. Well, that's the team training. Obviously, that's the only training we're gonna get before this game.
Yeah.
And then we saw, yeah, we saw like John Garcia right here, like
Mhm.
making pretty cool saves as well. So two Barca signings kind of showing off, and Barca Times is also just kind of showing us what we want to see, right? We want to see our new players. We want to see how they're adapting and how they're doing, and I think it's kind of cool. It's really cool to just, especially John Garcia, man. Like I don't know, some of these saves. It just kind of reminds. It's kind of a reminder of what it's like to have a great goalkeeper. Not that
Right.
they're saying can't make these saves, but it's just kind of cool to kind of see it in fruition, like the first couple of trainings, right?
Yeah, I think this excitement is different on a different level than when we first got Tech because we've been seeing the slow decline of Ter Stegen. So now that we have like a very young, promising goalie that has a lot of years ahead of him, who's just signed a new contract, has proven himself at the highest level, I think this is a very, very exciting time for Barca fans.
Yeah, man. So talk to me. I want to ask you because I'm excited to watch this team tomorrow. The game. What time zone are you in?
Eastern Standard Time. So
So you're right now, for you it's 12 p.m.
yeah, yeah,
12:30.
yeah.
Yeah. So for you the game is at 6. It's not as bad as me. So for me the game is at 3 a.m.
Oh
at least
wow.
at least you get to sleep from like 11 to
Yeah,
6 and you can wake
right.
up and watch the game.
Yeah.
I got to wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm doing it, man. I'm going to do a post game show
Oh
after
wow.
the game, guys. Everyone who tuned in, guys, please like the stream. We can get to more people and get in the chat. Don't be shy. There's 27 people watching. So if we can get at least 10 likes right now, that'd be amazing. And also get in the chat. So I'm gonna have a post game show for this. So the post game show is gonna be at 6 a.m. I'm
Wow.
crazy. I may be dumb for doing this. I don't even know.
Awesome.
I don't
That's
even know if people are gonna tune in. People may be sleeping, so it may just be me doing a post game show by myself.
That's hilarious. No, I think the true fans are going to be tuned in. Definitely, I'll be watching at 6 a.m. Definitely.
Probably some people from Europe that are
Oh
following
yeah,
me may tune in to that because it's
definitely.
the game for them is going to be at 12 p.m.
Mhm.
And then that's a much better time zone, by the way. But I think it's cool that finally Japan and Asia get a pretty decent time zone game from Barcelona, right? We
Yeah,
always get spoiled, but the Barcelona always plays at noon, and in Spain they play at night.
yeah,
But this is kind of cool for Asia because they get to finally watch Barcelona, even though.
yeah.
But
It's something that we don't think about all the time as fans. How fans on this side of the world, at least, how fortunate we are that we get like a pretty fair time difference with these games.
yeah, but what I did want to ask you though is, what are your top three players that you're most excited about? I'm gonna say mine, just to see which one you pick.
Mhm.
But go ahead, man. Tell me three players and why you think these three players are so exciting to watch tomorrow's game.
All right, so I'm gonna save my obvious one for last. So first, I want to say Mark Bernal. I'm really
Okay.
excited to see how he's looking post injury.
Mm-hmm.
Last year with the preseason tour, I think he looked great. He was looking like a future Sergio Busquets. Like I think he was looking incredible for a young talent at the CDM position. I was
Mm-hmm.
very very excited. I was heartbroken when he got that injury because it kept him out all season, and so he didn't really know what was going to happen with his future. So I'm very happy that he was immediately
Mm-hmm.
brought back to the first team post rehab. So I'm very excited to see him play. Let me think. Let me think. I'm
Yeah,
really
yeah.
excited to
Mark
see.
Bernal is a good one. I'm not gonna lie. So Mark Bernal, the way he closed out the season, the way he started the season last year was incredible. And even me, I was like, I can't believe how good Mark Bernal is. Like I'm like, we went from worried about not having a pivot to like having
Right.
Casado and Mark Bernal and saying like, holy crap, we
Yeah.
have our next Busquets like in the works here. Like this
Yeah.
is probably even better.
Mhm.
Most people were saying that he had a higher ceiling
Yeah,
than most of other players, like like Casado, for example, like Frankie De Jong. And then lo and behold, man, he gets injured like after the third preseason game, which
yeah,
was so devastating for him. I
mhm,
remember, like it was yesterday, Hansi Flick, though, as he was a new coach, I barely knew the kid. Maybe it was a month into him, and he was spending some time in rehab with him, reading him books and giving him strengthening his emotional, because the kid was just devastated, man. And imagine at that time, and then having your coach. And it goes to speaks volumes, because at that moment where you're doubting yourself,
yeah,
imagine having your coach not forget about you and sit
mhm,
with you in the room when you're rehabbing and
yeah,
talk to you about, don't worry about this, you're going to get through this, you're going to have plenty of chances to come back from this, don't worry about it, this
yeah,
is just a race for you to come back, and once you're back, you're going to get into it and you have opportunities. How cool
yeah,
is it to have a coach like that
mhm.
that barely knows you, but it's spending time with you, reading to you, and telling you not to worry about it.
Yeah, I think like you said, that speaks volume about Hansi Flick. I think that's great for Mark Brunell's development too, because this sport is all about money and opportunity, right? So it would be very easy for an injured player to be cast aside, and we've seen it before in professional football. So it's very easy for players to get cast aside, to fall out of favor, and ultimately even be sold. And this could have been a career-ending injury for Mark Brunell. So the fact that Barca stood behind him,
Yeah.
extended his contract, brought him back to the first team, it means that we really are trying to nurture him.
Yeah, and let me get to this chat. It says one thing about Flick is that he doesn't joke about physical condition of his players, and that's very very true. He
Yeah,
cares very much, and he's a father figure to them. So yeah, this is why he's so emotional, because if you know this, players are like, they're creatures of habits, right? They want to have the same way, the same meal, the day. They even a lot of players have a ritual sometimes, like they eat the same thing, they'll eat at the same time and sleep at the same time before the game. And for Flick, and if he wants to have a couple of days before every preseason game, he's gonna be upset that he's only getting less than 24 hours to prep for the next game. And this is one of the reasons why I think he was just not happy with Hansi Flick, with John Laporta in this moment. So, but yeah, tell me the other two players. So Mark Bernal, and somebody here said, actually, I think he said Mark Bernal. No, wait, was it?
don't expect too much from Bernal.
No. He said Mark Bernal will not be playing tomorrow.
Oh,
So I didn't have information about this, but I still think it's cool to talk about it, even though he's not going to be playing. We're just talking about who's we're most excited about watching
yeah.
tomorrow. But if they don't play, they don't play. But the point still remains. So, what are the other two that you wanted to watch?
Yeah, I think even if he comes in as a sub, or if he comes in garbage time, like last 10 minutes or something, just to see how he's looking on the pitch, I'd be fine with that. Just to see the progress that he's making. I'm also excited to see who we put at the striker, whether it's Lewandowski or maybe we try like a Ferran.
Yeah.
Um, I want to see how we're looking at the striker position, because it's something that kind of had a downfall after Lewandowski got injured last season, well, late in the season. Um,
Hmm.
I really want to see maybe if we could put like some Rashford minutes in there. That would be cool. Just that position in general. I want to see what we do there.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna give you my three guys, because I am really excited. I'm just gonna be honest. I want to watch Barca, but I don't want to watch like the normal like starting squad, because I already know what I'm getting. Like right now, I want to see how much depth we have a right wing.
Mhm.
How good is Marcus Rashford? Even though this team is not going to be a lot of competition, right? They're not. It's not like we're not facing even like a Villarreal or Real Sociedad here. We're just there's
Friendly.
going to be a big difference between one team and another.
Yeah.
But it's still good for players to get to know each other. But to me, the one player I'm really excited is Rooney Bargi, because
Yeah.
I want he has been really impressive in training from what I'm hearing. So I want to see Rooney Bargy tomorrow. I don't know if Hansi Flick, because preseason games can be a little tricky sometimes. Because the one thing that sometimes that happens with preseason games is there's contracts involved, and people are guaranteed to play certain players. So I know we're gonna see Lamine Yamal because all these people are buying these tickets and
Yeah.
paying this money to see Lamine Yamal. So I already know that he's going to play tomorrow. So I just don't know if it's going to play in the first half, second half. I wish we can see Lamine Yamal in the second half. I want to see Rooney Bargy in the first half, but I don't know. I don't know. It might be wild. It might be wild that I want Hansi Flick. Do you think that's kind of crazy that I want to see if Hansi Flick starts Rooney Bargy at the right wing against this game?
I think it's possible, just because, like you said, there's going to be a very stark difference in these two teams in how they play, and obviously, just like the strength of the team. I think we can play all subs and still have a very good victory. So Hansi Flick might throw everything out there tomorrow. Everyone might play out of position. I think it
Uh
could be
huh.
one of those games that we see Rooney start for sure.
Yeah, so Mark Bernal was my second one that I'm really excited about. I think Mark Bernal, from what he ended up last season to what this season could be for him, I think it's time to start seeing him get into that rhythm and get into that whatever picking up from what he did last season. I want to see because ACLs are extremely hard. They're one of the toughest. They're one of the toughest injuries a player is going to have.
Yeah,
It's always going to be those ACLs, and we've seen it with Gavi. We saw it with Florian Wirtz. Florian
yeah,
Wirtz actually did a really remarkable job of just coming back like he was nothing. Like he
yeah,
just play.
100%.
He just like once he came back, he got into the rhythm and he was back to his normal self. For
Mhm.
Gavi though, was a little bit more difficult because he didn't have that consistency. Hansi Flick didn't put him in every single game. His spot wasn't there to just be
Yeah,
had every time he just come right back after that injury. So he didn't get into the rhythm. Consistency, it's a key thing when you're coming back from injuries. And I
yeah,
think one of the reasons why I think Gavi is the single most underrated player coming into for next season. It's going to feel like we're getting a new player because
yeah.
that's a year into his injury. So I expect Gavi to take a major step up into his game coming next season. But what are you saying as far as like that aspect, as far as Gavi coming back for next season? For next season, maybe I think he's coming back with a vengeance, man. I think he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I think Gavi is going to be a player to watch throughout the season for sure, because he will have rested well, and I think he's going to have a lot more opportunity than he did before in the midfield position. I don't know who exactly he would bench, or if he would just come in as a permanent sub. That would be the only tricky thing I see in his situation. It's going to be hard to bench anybody right now in this lineup.
Yeah, that's definitely what you're saying is true. We are overloaded at the midfield. Like we have Bernal. We even have Eddie Garcia who can play
Yeah.
there,
Mhm.
day in, day out, and he can deliver it as well. So we have
Yeah.
Fermin, we have Casado, we have Pedri, we have Frankie. Dude, that's six midfielders in a
Yeah.
midfielder of what we play with three midfielders. We don't
Mhm.
play with four with the 4-4-2. We play with the 4-2-3-1. So basically that's going to be difficult for Gavi, but there's going to be plenty of time, and the schedules are insane. And
True.
my third player that I'm most excited about watching tomorrow is Torrens, because we need a left winger. And as rumor has it, and we're going to get into this in just a little bit, but that's not quite the topic right now. But one reason why I'm so excited about watching Torrens is because he's a left back.
Mm.
And from what I heard, I thought it was extremely interesting, was that we're not getting more signings. So
Really.
there's two things. I don't want to get too into it, but there's two things that are telling here with what John Laporta came out and said. But I'll get into it later. But what I'm saying right now is, was it Jeffrey Torrens?
Yeah.
He is the player that I'm really, really excited about watching. 'Cause I've been watching him for quite some time, and he looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. He looks very like he is it, like he is it. But what are you saying about Jeffrey Torrens? Are you aware of him, and do you think that he could make something like, can he be better than Gerard Martin? I guess that's a better question.
So Gerard Martin, I think, wasn't having a great end of the season last year until that Inter game, and not even the whole Inter game. It was just like the two assists that he had in that Inter game. So I don't know if the ceiling is very high there in terms of is he going to be better than Gerard Martin, but I think he'll be very competitive, and I think he's going to fight for a spot. Will he get it? That's what's going to be hard to tell, honestly, right now, because I think that Hansi Flick puts a lot of trust in Gerard Martin. Like last season, there were games where I didn't even want him to start, but Hansi Flick kept putting him in the lineup, kept putting him in the lineup. I think that's his
Hmm.
guy. Like that's somebody that he sees a lot of potential in, and it's going to be very hard for Hansi Flick to let Gerard Martin go in that lineup.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let me get to some of these chats because some people are here. Are it's a bit okay. So this one says Liverpool, City, and PSG are true favorites. Hell, even Arsenal significantly gotten better. So I've said this before to you guys, and I'll get your thoughts on it because I see this all the time. Like people get overhyped every time they get new players, and just because you get new players doesn't already mean that you already won the tournament, that you already got success. And
Right.
remember, Real Madrid, how did they start it? How did Barcelona started last season? How did Real Madrid started last season? Is it, if the world doesn't have to get ready, right? That's when Mbappe came to Real Madrid, and we were like, "Whoa!" So Real Madrid just won the Champions League. Now they're getting Mbappe. Like, who's going to stop them? Like in real, in on paper, you think that that's unstoppable. But then what happens? Barcelona, get Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick gets the players to buy in, and that's a much better structured team. He has a better plan, and he
Yeah.
puts all the pieces together. And he's like, "Give me Lamine, give me Rafinha. I'll make him do this. I'll make him do that." I've already worked with Lewandowski, and then lo and behold, Barcelona wins everything on Real Madrid's head tops. And dude, we almost won the Champions League. And the way we started that season was so crazy to me. So don't sell me just because PSG got players or Liverpool is loading up that they're just automatically going to just be a world beater. They may not, but not because they got certain players means
Right.
that they're unstoppable all of a sudden.
Yeah, I definitely agree 100%. I was seeing everywhere last season that, just like you said, the world has to be ready. Real Madrid got Mbappe. Let's just fast forward and give them the Champions League. So I definitely agree that even buying all these new players doesn't mean that you're going to be a favorite.
Mhm.
Barcelona only added Dani Olmo last season, and a 45-year-old tech in the goalie, and we took it so much further than they did. So I think Barcelona always have a puncher's chance, and that's all they need because we've done so much with far less.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I'm saying. Like, remember, like Barcelona, nobody gave us any chance last season. Sometimes those are the better seasons because nobody thinks that you actually have a shot to doing something,
Right,
and that's when you play with the chip on your shoulder and watch, dude. Dennis, you make a great point, but don't forget, Chelsea just won the Club World Cup and PSG
yes,
competed there. So don't think that Liverpool is just gonna roll over and just be a world beater also in the Prem. So I think Chelsea is a major dark horse in the Prem next season.
right,
That is just insane. That's just to give you an example of why don't look. This is why you can't look at your neighbor because he just got a brand new car and then now you feel like a failure because you don't
right,
have a brand new car. Like you don't know his financial situation. You don't know if he's just in debt, right? And you're just thinking, oh, that he's getting a new car. I got to get myself a new car. And
right,
sometimes I think like Barcelona fans, we feel like this with Real Madrid because when Real Madrid is getting all these players, they're getting Dean, and it's so exciting. And we're getting Trent, we're getting Mastantuno, we may or may not. We got Carreras, right? So it's really easy to feel like we are broke, that we're not spending money. But the more this you step back and realize that, this team almost won everything. Why not just run it back, add a
Mhm.
few pieces here and there? We don't have to get crazy in the transfer window. Everyone's going crazy, Kevin, with Liverpool right now. But what
Yeah.
people don't remember is that Liverpool literally they didn't do anything last season. They didn't do anything. They barely got any upgrades to the team. They
Mhm.
brought everyone back. They gave it a go. It almost worked. They won the Prem. Now they have even more money, and we're all going crazy. Like, wait, how can they spend all this money? Well, they can spend all this money because they literally had like 200 mil last season that they didn't spend, that rolls over to this season, plus whatever they're doing this season, plus some players they're gonna let go like Luis Diaz and Nuno. At the end of the day, like, this is why we're so surprised, right? It's so
Yeah.
cool. Why can't Barcelona be that team, that Liverpool from last season, and then the season 2026 we can really load it up and get great players?
Yeah, I definitely agree that Barca fans should not panic because we're running it back. I think that we did a lot with this team last year, and the pieces that we've added are only reinforcing us right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this Real Madrid team is only loading up because of all like the dominance that we asserted in Spain last season. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that we are the reason that they're getting all these signings, and they're just trying to get into the heads of the Barca fans. So I definitely would not panic. And just like you said, we run it back this year. We take it
Yeah.
far again. I think we were only 90 seconds away from being in the Champions League final. If Hansi Flick subs in Christensen instead of Araujo, we're in the Champions League final. So I think that this team is not bad at all. We signed some great reinforcements, and we're gonna have a great season this year.
Dude, somebody said here, Laporta is trying to pull a Liverpool. Spend. Oh, see, that's what I was talking about. Spend low amount this summer, then go big next summer. Don't forget, with Lewa, Christensen will most likely Ter Stegen leaving. That frees up around 70 mil in cap space. Dude, Sean, I didn't read this before I started getting into the Liverpool thing because it just so fitting, and I can't believe he said that, because I literally just talked about that, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to do the same thing we did with Liverpool and let Real Madrid think we're broke. Even despite the fact that Barcelona made almost a billion euros last season, we were
Yeah,
the toughest. That we were I think it was the number one team in terms of revenue last season. Can you imagine how much we made in terms of sales, in terms of tickets, attendance, and all that? We were number one, Kevin. This is crazy to think that let Real Madrid think we're broke, but we're coming next season. Like, we are so much, dude. We have a great opportunity. We almost won everything last season, Kevin. So,
yeah,
like, I'm thinking, like, honestly, why can't we just run it back this season and see where it gets us? We're free money, house money, and then we'll have a great financial situation status, and 1-1 rule and everything for the following season, when we can really go after somebody like Isa, Julian
yeah.
Alvarez,
Mhm.
somebody maybe, or another player who just really had at the time. There's always a new player coming up in the up and up coming, so Barcelona can really do a lot more next season.
Yeah, I think the fans should not get impatient right now. I think we have so much on our plate. We just need
Hmm.
to deal with what we can right now. And like you said, next summer transfer window, we're gonna be in the market for everybody.
Yeah. What is up, Barca Reacts? Let's read some of the
Remember that.
chats. It says, what channel they show the game. Okay, so good point. So I want to let you guys know, whoever's watching, how to watch the Barcelona game. So I was kind of looking into it. Somebody did tell me on the channel, was a comment that said, if you download the app, you can watch the Barcelona games from Barcelona app, right? The official fan page. It turns out that Barcelona is going to it's going to do things differently. So I guess what you need to do is, and I'm probably gonna have to do this tonight, is that you're supposed to sign up for the preseason pack on YouTube, and you can watch the games on YouTube for like 3.99 or 2.99, something like that. And it's like I think I think the members are gonna get extra content throughout the year, But
Wow.
but what you're getting for that three something dollars is that you're essentially going to get to watch all the preseason games on YouTube, but it's going to be streamed on members only. So I don't know how are you going to watch the games. Did you look into it, or are you? I think I'm just I'm not. I'm a type of person who likes things conveniently.
Yeah.
So I know I can probably watch these games if I find some links or this or that. But to me, if you tell me like, dude, it's $10 and you can watch all the preseason games from Barcelona this season, dude, I'm paying the $10 because I'm about convenience. I don't want to look into how to get it for free. I don't want. It's not that I don't want to, but it's just convenience for me. Just everything.
Yeah, totally. On the DAZN app where people were watching the Club World Cup, they're also going to be showing the preseason games for Barcelona.
No
Uh,
way, really? But you do have to
but
be a member though.
you don't have to be a member. But what I saw was that they weren't showing the Vissel Kobe one. They're showing the one on Thursday.
But they're
So
not showing the one on Sunday.
I don't believe so. Let me just check right now one more
Yeah,
time.
because that's important. Because if you have to be a member, that means you are paying more. The Zone app is going to charge you more because Barcelona in the YouTube channel from Barça, the official YouTube channel, you can sign up for the preseason pack. And it's $2.99 or something. And I think I think it's kind of what I'm seeing. That's how I'm gonna watch it most likely. But I don't think if you I think from the zone you have to pay
Yeah.
monthly, right?
So I'm not seeing the one for Sunday, but I'm seeing these other two that are here, and I'm not a member, so these are
And
just.
I'm wondering if it's because they were canceled and then they got back.
I think
Uh,
so, yeah, because these are coming up, and they're free to watch on the DAZN app. The other two
and
games.
they're coming up. Guys, there's 70 people watching. I'm gonna ask you guys, please like the stream. Please get in the chat. Don't be shy. Culés Podcast, episode number 6. That's crazy. I've been at this every Saturday morning for a month and a half now, which is kind of cool to be at the same day at the same time. But
Awesome.
yeah, and then go subscribe. Hold on, why is it not showing? Let me see why it's not showing your or maybe probably, yeah, there it is. Go subscribe.
Mhm.
Blaugrana Zone with two Z's, right?
Yes,
uh
Black on the Zone with two Z's.
and what are you going to be doing on your channel? You're going to doing some watch alongs?
Yeah, I definitely will be doing watch alongs. Hate watch alongs for the Real Madrid games as well. Just reviews after the game.
Right.
Post game reviews. Like I
Yeah.
said, I also want to go to El Clasico this season, so I'm going to be vlogging that. It's going to be a lot of hype on this channel.
Yeah. So yeah, I am not doing watch alongs on this channel yet. Maybe that's something that's gonna come down the road. But for now, I already announced it. I'm gonna do a post game show after every Barcelona game. It's my goal this season. And I know some days may not work out, but I'm probably just gonna do it wherever I'm at, somewhere probably in not in this space. Because sometimes we travel, right? Sometimes we go somewhere else, and
For sure.
but my goal this season is to have a post game show after every game. I'm not gonna do match reactions this season. Most likely, I'm just gonna do like
Oh,
other
see,
videos where I share opinions, and but for my reaction, it'll probably just be like an instant reaction post game show or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah. So it says we need fullbacks. Two signings is gonna cut it. Yeah, we're gonna get into that topic right now. John Laporta officially said that we are not going to get any more signings. That's closing the door on Banderson, closing the door on Grimaldo. I don't know if this is a power move. We are going to get into it in just a second. Let me get to the chats. Says, guys, don't have too much expectations on the team. Huh. So I wonder why, because Barcelona literally just won everything, right? We won the local treble, went to the semifinals of the UCL. Again, this is one of those reasons when you see other teams getting players and you just feel like you're not good, dude. This team, dude. If you would have told me, Kevin, before when the season ended, right after the last game, you would have said, Miguel, uh, Barcelona is going to add the best goalkeeper in La Liga from 2024, 2025, and they're going to add Marcus Rashford. to
Facts.
the current squad, right? So I'm thinking like, okay, so we just won, dude. We almost went to the final, and then we're adding the best. Finally, right? One of the things that we've always struggled with was just having a great goalkeeper that can bail us
Yeah.
out. Now it feels like we have that, and now we have a Marcus Rashford who, let's be honest, he may not work out, but if it works out, dude, we can get this guy for 30 million, and
Yeah.
that's going to be a steal next season.
Yeah, I think that the fans don't have to be impatient. We're in a great position right now. We have these great reinforcements. It's a transitional time, but not the kind of transition where we're rebuilding the whole team. It's kind of just these key aspects and these key pieces that we're just starting to like really really get good at.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy, Chris, says, I don't see us signing a fullback. We have not registered John Garcia and Rashford. So
That's true.
this is very interesting because, man, as much as I hate what Nico did to us, it kind of makes sense that what he did though, because can you imagine having to sign a player like Nico right now with a 62 million basically release clause and his salary, and we are having signed John Garcia who's only 25 million. And I know it's a matter of time. We're supposed to be waiting for the VIP suites, and we're supposed to be waiting for some exits so that we can go back to the 1-1 rule. If Ter Stegen would have just left the club, bro, and don't get me started with that crap, freaking rat, dude. That if that guy would have just stayed away for 4 months and get that surgery, we would be okay right now. We would be sitting pretty as far as the 1-1 rule and having John Garcia and Marcus Rashford register.
Yeah, I really don't like the way that this Ter Stegen saga is working out. I don't like how it's playing out because he was very legendary for the club in his day, and the fact that
Mhm.
he just can't let it go, and now he's trying to purposefully only stay for 3 months so that he stays registered just because it's a World Cup year next year. I don't know. It's very snakish. He's doing the club dirty. I think he could be more friendly for the club, care about the club that put you on the pedestal where you're at now.
Yeah, and the one thing I want to say about Ter Stegen that I really, I really just I just don't understand is I know people saying, "Why are you treating your stars like this? Why are you treating your legends like this, dude?" He's doing this to himself too,
Yeah.
because um, if it was me, I would have thought about it a little bit more and say, you know what, I've been at this club for over a decade.
Yeah.
I won everything with this club, and I am going to have, one day I'm going to leave and I'm going to have a certain legacy, right? There was a lot of Ter Stegen defenders, dude. At some point, there was a Ter Stegen out
Mhm.
on Twitter. I was a defender about Ter Stegen. Up to
Oh
that
yeah.
point, I'm like, I've told Jonas, I told a few others that I've talked about, and I said, I think Ter Stegen is still a legend to the club. We need to respect him. We need to pay some respects, and it's okay to get a new goalkeeper, but we need to do this the right way. So
Yeah.
there was two Barca fans that liked Ter Stegen, and the Barca fans that really hated Ter Stegen. There was like no in between. But now the way that he's doing what he's doing, he's losing even those people who defended him and was like half of the people. And now we all like the consensus are like, we all just want you out of here. And I think this is one of the things that he's doing that is really wrong is that he doesn't want to help the club, and he's really ending it in a really bad way. And what a waste! What a way to waste your legacy at a club, bro.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't want to go into the twilight years of his career. And honestly, I think good clubs would sign him. It's not like he's gonna have a fall off like a Joe Hart at Man City, who just out of nowhere he went back to Celtic, or like any other goalkeeper who has fallen off. He's gonna have I think a top European club could still sign him for sure.
Yeah, no, and Galatasaray was interested in him, right?
And that's a really good team. They have like some good signings. They just locked in Osimhen long term. Like that's not a bad team at all.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So it's like Galatasaray was a great place for me. That I was thinking for Ter Stegen, because they're gonna go into the UCL next season. He
Yep.
needs the reps. He needs, dude. There's ways for him to find a place to be, and he just hasn't
Yeah.
hasn't done it yet.
He's
Yeah,
completely screwing the club over right now.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that Barcelona it's not in the 1-1 rule, because if we were in the 1-1 rule, we wouldn't care and we would just send him to the stands. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I don't think people realize yearly amortization fees and are on the top of yearly gross salary. This is why players is hard. It's hard right now. Let me see what else. I don't win. I don't win UCL by the amount of transfers you do.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't win it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you don't win it, just like Liverpool, right? That's what Liverpool is doing right now. They just literally they want to buy. They want to buy the way that they're basically want to buy the Champions League per se, right? When you spend that kind of money. Truly, no need to buy fullback. Torrens and Fare are absolute units and are going to fight for a spot in the team.
I
Yeah, so
really.
that's why I'm so excited to watch Torrens next season, because I do think that he has a realistic shot of just fighting for a roster spot. In the what is it, 26 players for La Liga in every game? They're supposed to have 26 or
I believe
I
it's
think.
26. That sounds right.
Yeah, so 3 a.m. is brutal though. I'm still watching. Yeah, I mean, you guys can pre-record the game too and just watch it when you wake up. See, I'm on baby duty right now, so I have to wake up at like usually wake up at 1. Then we have to feed him at like 4 a.m. So it's not gonna be a big deal for me. So whenever that tomorrow night, I'm gonna wake up, 3 a.m., watch the game, feed the baby, then probably put him back to sleep, and then do the post game show after that. And then after the post game show, I might just crash out for like another 4 hours.
No, yeah, I can imagine you already keep crazy hours right now. So this will just fit right in your schedule.
I know exactly. ESPN for Madrid Liga again. They never learn. Favoring. Oh yeah, did you see that? I think I posted it in the chat, right? ESPN
I
is
yeah.
favoring Real Madrid in La Liga and
Oh, the odds, right?
the odds. Well, one thing I will say though is like Real Madrid will because of their marketing, right? They always get the benefit of the doubt. And that's the one thing I was literally laughing at Madrid for being the favorites to win the Club World Cup. And I was like, wait, so did PSG not travel to this thing? They
Right.
did
Yeah.
not just City did not travel to this thing. And we all saw what happened with Chelsea.
Mm.
And they just that's what I'm saying. Like just because they're favorites. And one thing I do think is interesting though is the betting. Because those guys, the I'm talking about the professional bettors. They build these big buildings in Las Vegas for one reason, is because they know how to win money from people. And what they do is they put Real Madrid. So that just to give you an example, right? So they'll put Real Madrid as a favor, and well, guess what they're gonna do? Every Real Madrid fan is gonna get hyped, and what are they gonna do? They're gonna go
Gonna go
bet
back.
that
Yeah.
Real Madrid will win La Liga, and that's exactly what they want. They want you to bet that Real Madrid will win La Liga, and if they don't win it, all that money, dude, all that money goes to them.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like just being favored doesn't always mean that you're gonna win it. It's always the people versus the pros. They call it the sharks or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't I'm not a savvy with better bets, but I do see it in the NFL.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, like that concept of like Vegas is putting these numbers, they're inflating these numbers so that Madrid fans can get hype and bet and pretty much lose all their money. But that's really crazy. I mean it would work out for me because I'll take the Barca odds and then watch them, come back
Eh,
and win the season.
So yeah, sometimes the NFL will do this, and I know this because I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to sports. I only talk Barca, but I watch, dude. I'm a nerd. Like I don't we don't go out much. We stay home all the time, so like I have a lot like free time, and I watch. I used to be a big Tom Brady fan, so I used to
Or
follow the NFL. And what they'll do is like, oh, because it's the Dallas Cowboys, right? They have a huge fan base. I have a huge fan base. So what they'll do is like, oh, they'll say, Dallas it's favored by 7 points. So people will go, all the Cowboys fans get hyped because they are the favorites for that game, and they'll go bet on that game. And what the actual professionals will do, they will get a perfect analysis to see if they actually going to win that game or not. Not based on the number. They'll do it based on who they're playing. So
Yeah.
what the Sharks do is the Sharks usually, if the public goes to the Cowboys, right? Everybody's betting on the Cowboys. Everybody's betting on the Cowboys. The professional bettors, they usually go the other way.
Right.
Whatever the way the public is going, they go the opposite, and they say, you know what, we're gonna bet on that team to beat the Cowboys on that day. And lo and behold, all the Cowboys fans lose their money, and all the other team, whoever bet on that team makes the money because there's
Yeah.
no hype. They can't be hype when you're making betters. And so the Real Madrid thing is, that's exactly what it's telling me, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think you're exactly right on that. That sounds right on the nose.
Yes, it's perfect for Balde and Kunde, and not only health wise, but competition wise. Yeah, they're gonna get some competition, bro. But we signed Kunde, which was important, is worthy
Right.
of note. He's gonna be with us until 2030. What a warrior, man! He played over 100 games without getting injured, and
Yeah.
then got injured at the wrong time. It was so unfortunate.
Yeah, I was just talking to my cousin about this. I think that Kunda injury really was kind of a domino effect on how the end of the season went for us. I think without that injury and without Balde injury, we could have packed Inter up easily for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's We're gonna get into the next topic. Let me get to this chat and see how many of them I can get to, and just reading in without having too many opinions on it. They're gonna give Kunde and Balde some rest. Yes. Says gracias. Thank you. And guys, please go subscribe to Kevin's channel. That would mean a lot to me if you can go show some love. How cool would it be, like, if he gets big sometimes, you guys will be the first to tune into his channel. That'd be cool.
Invest
When
now. We're on the ground floor.
when's your first, did you uploaded your first video yet?
No, I'm gonna do videos about the preseason, so definitely soon within this week.
It says, Digital Footprint says the game's gonna be live on the Zone for free. So I'm curious to see if it's gonna be for all the games though, or is it just the ones that you pointed out, Kevin? Because tomorrow's game is really the one I really want to watch. Oh, Buga Luis in the house, baby. What is going on, man? Who are these lovely, handsome gentlemen? Man, Buga is a great dude, man. I love this guy. He has a big channel. He's got about
Oh yeah.
28,000 subscribers. I had him on my channel a couple of weeks ago, and he was on Culés podcast episode number 3 or number 4.
Awesome.
But great dude. What I hope you're doing great, man. Let me know if you're watching the game live. Knowing Buga, he's not gonna watch it live, guys. He's gonna watch it like probably 10 a.m. 10 a.m. He don't care. Maybe I'm wrong, Buga. You tell me. You tell me if I'm wrong about that. That's just kind of my intuition. Says, who are you talking about? Oh, that's somebody else's combo. Wonderful, bro. You have oh yeah. So I'm one of those lucky dudes that want to have 2 kids, Kevin. Did I lose you there? I wonder if it's my connection. Yeah, you can refresh and come back. Hey guys, I haven't asked you about this. Let me see what's going on here. I got 32 likes and 74 people watching. Can we do a little bit better than that? Yeah, I lost you there for a minute. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was gonna tell you, Kevin, like, I'm one of those lucky guys who wants to have 2 kids and got a daughter and a boy.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
so
So cool, man.
I wanted to know what it was like to have a daughter and a boy, and I'm one of those few lucky ones who I have 2 friends who wanted a boy and a girl, and they got 2 boys, and the other one got 2 girls.
Oh my
So
god.
it's just the way it works, right? It's just how it is. It's
That's
just how
awesome,
it is
man.
again. Yeah. All right, Bax. I understand, Gerard Martin. Let me get into my next topic, Kevin, because the show it's fire, but it's also going to be ending soon. So I do wanted to talk about, what are your thoughts on the Marcus Rashford deal? because I want you to give me your thoughts because I loved it. Okay, so it went like this. So the news that negotiations were getting close was Saturday. The
Yeah.
here we go was Saturday. But then Sunday, there was more information. And then Monday, there was more information. So um, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you a quick rundown. So it was supposed to be 40% major discount, Rashford going to Barcelona, negotiations taking place. And then it was here we go. And then by Sunday, it was like, no, it's not going to be 40% discount. It's going to be 25. And then Monday went from 25 to 15% discount on Rashford, and Barcelona was going to pay 14 million, which
Yeah.
was like I went from like yay to like yikes. So, but tell me your thoughts. I mean, I'm still okay with the move, but it's not what they told us from the beginning.
Yeah, like you said, the reporting had a very big piece of like how I reacted to the news. Initially, I really liked it financially for the team. I thought it was a team friendly deal. We're gonna get Rashford this opportunity. He just came back from a good loan at Aston Villa, positive. But then as more news came out, more corrections came out. I liked the deal a little less, a little less, a little less. But either way, I'm confident in what Rashford could do for this team. I'm confident that he'll have a good year. I'm confident that he'll cook Trent. That's most important. And
Real Madrid fans are very personal about that. I've heard them.
yeah,
I've heard
yeah,
Will, I've heard Matrix, and I've heard a few other channels who are really hurt that we think that Rashford will cook Trent.
yeah. I'm definitely on that side that Rashford is going to cook Trent for sure. Mark it on your calendar. I'm positive. But what I really don't like is the reporting, and I think this has to do with the Spanish media, like how things get reported right away. Everyone's like trying to be the first to get the news out there, and then it's completely wrong. So that's just something I really did not love because I don't think other clubs have that problem, at least not like this.
No, no, exactly, bro. So to me, it was like, uh, typical Barcelona, right? They never tell us the plain and straight truth.
Right,
It's almost like a CEO telling everyone they basically got huge contracts throughout the whole year, and it's really they're in the boards. They really thinking about how many people they're gonna lay off, and it's
right,
like they're not telling people the truth. So that's the one thing that I, instead of like telling the truth and telling those employees to start looking for jobs, it's like lying to them because you don't want to give them a bad news. To me,
right,
I would have been perfectly okay with if Barcelona would have came out and said, you know what, this is why I love Laporta coming and say we're not doing any more signings, because I don't want them to say, you know what, there's two more signings coming in, which, by the way, Deco and Laporta said they were going to have four signings this season. So that's another lie they told us. And now they're telling us that this is all, now they're saying that that's it. We're only getting two. And they told us it was four and now it's two. And then with the Rashford situation, the same thing. It's like they never give us the facts. They never give it. So we know what to expect, because with the Rashford deal, it was like, oh yeah, he's taking 40%. It turns out he's taking 15%, and it turns out we're paying his full salaries, and it turns out that it's only going to happen if we pay 100%. The only good thing about it is if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work out, but we are going to pay them less than 5 million, and if it works out, it's best case scenario for Barcelona. So our best interest is that Rashford better work out, because if he works out, it's a bargain.
yeah. So when you say for Rashford to work out, what does that mean for you? Does that mean like goals? Does that mean trophies? What does that mean?
No, it doesn't mean trophies. Like I'm not gonna. This is a team sport, so I never gonna help one player. We are done with this era of Messi and Cristiano, where we literally blame them for every single success or failures for their teams, right?
Yeah,
And I think that's over. That never should have been done in the first place, because it's a team sport, and I can go back to that game that really ruined a lot of Barca fans, the Liverpool game, when we lost to Liverpool, right?
yeah,
Well, Messi makes a great breakthrough pass to Dembele by
yeah,
himself in front of the keeper. He had another option to give it back, could have passed it, easy goal. Instead, he takes a shot, like a difficult shot, and
hmm
misses. So
yeah,
if he scores that, then Barcelona wins, probably end up winning the Champions League because we were one of the best teams that year.
Yeah.
And then who gets the glory? Messi, right? Messi gets the glory, so now he gets the blame. So I to me, for Rashford to work, I would say I want to see Rashford by December to be a major piece of the team, of the starting 11. So whether that's a rotation, whether that is playing some important games, whether that's Rafinha down the 10 and having Rashford, and maybe either bench Olmo or bench Lewandowski. If I'm starting to see that we're starting to bench Olmo or starting to bench Lewandowski because we have to put in Rashford, to me it doesn't matter if he's scoring or not. But if Flick feels that he needs to play him over other players who are already starting at the club,
Yeah.
that to me means that it worked. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think Rashford will have at least 14 goals for Barcelona this season, and is going to have at least 8 assists. So I'm talking in terms of like 20 GAs for Rashford next season at the very least.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I could see about 25. Even if he goes 15 and 10, I think that's clean. That's a good season. And I would want to see him play striker minutes, even though it already came out that he's supposed to be playing left wing minutes. I really want to see what he can do at striker, even though it's not something that he's played too much.
I want to ask you something, because yesterday Will at the Football Chaos was talking about he was talking about Isaac, right? And
Mm.
I'm so bummed that Isaac wants to leave Newcastle, because I thought we were gonna really go after him next season, and between him and Julian Alvarez, and the fact that he wants to leave now kind of brings that back to me, brings me back to earth, because honestly, I think Isak would have worked perfectly at Barcelona as a number 9.
Yeah.
We would be unstoppable. Having Lamine on the right, having Rashford, Rafinha, and that attack would just be insane with Isak. But the fact that he wants to leave now makes me think that we're not going to go after him after all.
Yeah, I think someone from Barca needs to talk to him and tell him our plan about next season, because maybe he's just not aware that we even want him. So I think Deco or Laporta, someone on the team has to go make that clear to him that we can go after him next season to just stay tight at Newcastle for one more year. And if he says yes, then we go all out for him next season. And if he still chooses to leave Newcastle, then he's gone.
Exactly. Guys, there's 60 people watching. I'm trying to get to 40 likes. We got 33, man. We can do better than that, guys. Come on. Let's do this. And also go subscribe to the channel and subscribe to Kevin's channel. We would really appreciate that very, very much. I'm also going to have his name on the title as soon as the stream ends. For whatever reason, when you're setting it up, you can't really add people. But when the stream ends, you can edit the title and actually like
Oh,
have the link to the channel. But when you're setting it up, it doesn't let you do it. But I will have for whoever's going to view it on replay. I get a lot of people who watch on replay for some reason. They don't watch the lives, but that's the nice thing that I like about YouTube over TikTok. Is like TikTok, if you miss the live, you miss it completely.
yeah.
With YouTube, when you're live, people can watch you live and then can watch the replay, which is really, really cool. This is why I like YouTube over TikTok. That's why betting is harm. So yeah, let's get into that topic now, because okay, so Laporta came out and said that we're not getting any more signings, and I think this was very telling, because imagine if the biggest it's gonna sound wrong. Imagine if your friend, right, who's always lying about his financials, always lying about he makes more than he. If he imagine that he's telling you that he can't buy anymore, whatever, right? And he can't afford something. Imagine that friend that's always buying something, telling you that he can't afford to buy something. Laporta is one of the biggest salesmen out there, and why he came out with the Camp Nou thing. Why did he came out and said that we're getting 4 signings? The fact that he came out and said we're not getting any more signings, that's really telling me that we just can't afford it. That's really telling me that Barcelona financial situation is probably worse than we think. But what's your take on Barcelona coming out and all of a sudden saying that we're not going to get any more signings after promising 4 signings this year?
I think that it could be a power move. I think that it could be something to throw everybody off, to maybe get other teams off our scent. Because whenever we announce these possible signings, other teams want to come in and hijack them. So I think
Mm-hmm.
I think that John Laporta made a bad move hyping up Nico Williams in the media, because then it just made Atletico Bilbao furious, and then they had to go and lock him down. So I think
Mm-hmm.
in him doing this, he's really just trying to get his enemies a little further from him, to really try to cook something up behind the scenes. I have faith that we can make one more signing, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not upset about how this team is right now.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I made a video when the whole before the Rashford news broke. I said, "Here's a crazy take. Why don't we just do the Liverpool thing, right? Why don't we just not sign anyone and everything that all the success we had last season, it's house money for next season. Let Real Madrid win La Liga or Copa del Rey because they're gonna be they're gonna be stronger than last season, and they should be, right. They're spending
Yeah,
upwards of 300 million for in the transfer window. So why wouldn't they be better? The
right.
question is why wouldn't you be better, right? So I was saying, like, guys, don't expect to win every single thing that we're competing next season. Just run it back, see what we can get for next season playing on house money, given
Yeah,
our recent success, and then we can go after like a crazy run out, kind of like what Liverpool is doing, and then just go after like a couple great signings, like maybe Isaac, or go after somebody big, right? Isaac, Julian Alvarez, and who knows at that point who else have developed in the La Masia, and we may not even have to spend that much money, bro.
yeah. I think sometimes the solution to our problems isn't La Masia. Like Lamin is a huge solution to our problems. Bernal, Casado, all these young guys that have been coming up, we always spend in the market. We just need to look in our academy, and we have some gems right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the one thing about the left back. Maybe Barcelona will see Torrens here in the next couple of games and say, you know what? How much better is Grimaldo than Torrens right now? You know what I mean? So
Right.
the more that we can play him, this is why I'm so excited about watching him, because it's like, okay, so what if we play Torrens tomorrow and he just lights it up,
Right.
and then all of a sudden like Fleet goes like, wow, this kid is good. And then at that point you're like, well, Grimaldo is gonna cost me like what, 8 million, which is not a lot of money, but at the same time, if you have a La Masia player coming out and being that good, why spend the money? You know,
Right. Yeah.
reason yeah, reason we lost against Inter was because Balde and Kunde wasn't available to help and stretch the attack. Now Balde won't overlook and get sidelined. Well, yeah, I agree with you. The reason we lost was because we got unlucky, right? It's like, eh, no matter how good your team is, it just feels like the healthiest team always wins.
Yeah.
It happens in the NBA, it happens in the NFL, and in football is no different. Like whoever's healthier in Barcelona, we had unfortunate situations, unfortunate injuries at the wrong time, and not having your fullbacks was a major disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's no secret that Dumfries had two master classes back to back with scoring goals and scoring assists. So that tells you like that was your weakest link, and we just couldn't stop the bleeding.
Yeah, that those games it's like I have PTSD from those games now. Those memories are never gonna go away. How Denzel Dumfries was cooking, how Gerard Martin was just fumbling until he had those two great assists. But yeah, those two positions, we needed someone back there.
Exactly. This is Barca volume. It came out yesterday that they're not clause that we have to pay if we don't keep him.
Oh
Man, I
wow.
wish I
Oh,
can't remember what we were talking about. It says Rashford will do 20 to 30 GAs next season. That's exactly what I'm thinking, Stevan. I think if we get less, which means he's going to be playing less, but if he gets 20 GAs, that means he's getting enough minutes. Yeah, I strongly believe, Kevin, if we had a spot, if we had a left winger position, I strongly believe that Rashford would work at Barcelona. But the
Yeah,
fact that he has to work his way in, that's the toughest part because it's not a hole that we're filling in.
yeah,
We're just adding depth. So that's where that's where the challenge comes for Rashford. So let's not take it too hard on him because it's not easy to earn your spot into what already feels like Hansi Flick a starting 11 that he already likes.
yeah.
But yeah.
I totally agree. It's going to be hard to compete for a spot in the lineup. It's going to be hard for him to prove that he's a good sub, but I think he's more than capable for sure.
Yeah. So 2019 was one of the worst squads. The only reason why we only made it that far because of Messi. If Neymar was still, dude, you know how many feelings you're pulling out of my soul right now, dude. If Neymar would have stayed 4 more years at Barcelona, Barcelona would have taken over, bro. Barcelona, what we saw from Real Madrid winning, I think it was 5 Champions League in like 10 years or six.
Yeah, 5 and
We
10.
would have seen that from Barcelona. I don't know what Neymar was thinking, bro. It
Yeah,
still pains me to this day, bro.
I literally remember where I was when I saw the news of him going to PSG. Like that's
I
how much.
I thought it was a lie.
Yeah, no, it was insane. That memory is going to be in my head forever for sure.
Big up Barça 605. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate you very, very much. It says Vissel Barça, keep up the great work, homie.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he sounds like he have a channel. It looks like I don't know. But hey, thank you for that, man. I really, really appreciate it. Let's see what else we got here. What time is the game in South African time zone? I don't know, man. I'm not there. I have no idea what time that would be. Probably what, like during the day, right? Because that's
it's saying noon on Saturday, noon. So
it says
6 hours, 6 hours difference.
yeah, something like that. You saw Leao balling.
Yeah,
I
against
I
against
didn't I
Liverpool.
didn't. Huh?
Against Liverpool.
Oh, did they win?
Yeah. I think earlier today, Milan Liverpool played a friendly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, AC
Earlier
Milan.
today. What time
AC
was the
Milan.
game?
I think like I woke up and I already saw videos on Twitter, so it had to have been a pretty early game.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even aware of that game,
Yeah,
because I woke up and yeah, I just went straight to trying to prep for the show, and I didn't even see that. But dude, the thing with Leao is he'll look unstoppable today, and he'll do squad tomorrow. That's the one thing I've always frustrated with Leao when it comes to Leao to Barca. Yeah, he has great abilities. His speed, he has a dribbles, he can dominate on the flank, but sometimes he just gets neutralized. I don't know why, man. But
yeah,
Jude Bellingham has the same problem. Like he'll dominate, and then all of a sudden you didn't even notice that he was playing. Like I
yeah.
don't know why Jude Bellingham it just sometimes they have a thing that they just disappear. It's kind of my take on it. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
No, yeah, definitely. I agree that he's a very inconsistent player. He goes in pretty big moments. So yeah, we don't want a washy player like that right now.
Yeah, and Bellingham, by the way, it's not that he's disappearing in big moments. It's just he gives you such a great highs that when his lows come around, you sit there and wonder like what is going on with Jude Bellingham. I hardly ever saw him. There haven't been a ever since Pedri joined, dude. I've never remember a game where I said I didn't know where Pedri was.
Right.
Like he just takes so much control of the game, bro, that
Yeah.
it's so underrated. And I know a lot of people are starting to notice, and we are starting to praise him for what he does on the field. But
Yeah.
it's crazy to me, dude, that Xavi had this. Xavi, Xavi Hernandez, dude, he never had an off game. He always knew what to do with the ball. Always knew. Dude, this is like Pedri is almost like his son, dude. Like he never has off games.
Yeah, I really like Pedri this season. I believe if we had won the Champions League and if he had won the Nations League with Spain, he would have also a very strong resume for the Ballon d'Or. And this was his first really healthy season. His health has been something that is very it's been determining of how he plays. He's been out. He had an ACL injury. Like all of these things have been going wrong for him. So now to have him like a fully healthy season and we're seeing his dominance, it's very promising.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this guy says Bayern Munich tried to contact every single target we went for publicly. So, bro, speaking facts. So that's what you were talking about, right? Like keeping it secret because like Bayern Munich is literally like we got into it. We
Yeah.
went for Nico, they went for Nico. We went for Luis Diaz, they went for Luis Diaz. It's like they're trying to copy us.
Yeah, but the fact that they get rejected by every team, like every player, I mean, it just makes it that much more satisfying, to be
I,
honest.
I I just don't think they have a great project. As much as
Yeah,
people make rate them, I don't think they have that job right now. That place is not as appealing as it used to be,
yeah.
and it might be worrisome. But they try to strengthen. They have the money, but they
Mm,
cannot get players to buy in to their project, and that's the
yeah.
major problem right now.
I think they had a very high ceiling, bringing in Harry Kane, having good defenders, but then just how their season went, like I think they only won the league, and that wasn't
Mhm.
even that great because there's no real hard competition now that Leverkusen has let all their players go. Borussia Dortmund never really competes against them, so there's nothing really there with Bayern Munich.
Yeah, for sure, man. Guys, let's get to 50 likes. We got 47 likes and 70 people watching. I would appreciate it. And also I'm gonna show Blaugrana Z Zone. Go subscribe to Kevin, man. He's gonna be making a ton of content on that channel. So it would mean a lot if you show some love.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and also let's get to more chats here. So before the end of the show, how much time you got, Kevin?
Probably like 5-10. I gotta
Yeah,
dip.
no worries, man. Yeah, I know. I told you like an hour, so I totally understand. But yeah, we're probably just gonna end it then. I'm not gonna stay. It's been a pretty good show so far, but dude, I can't believe, man. The game is freaking tomorrow, bro. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like
I'm
I
I'm
can't
I'm
believe
very
it's already
excited.
here.
I'm very excited. I feel like the offseason was so long. I've been waiting to see like some Barca games. I really want to see how the squad's gonna come out, how Lamine is gonna come out with the number 10. With the weight of the world on his shoulders, how's he gonna do? Even if it's preseason, like
Dude, that's
everybody.
true. I forgot about that. Dude, tomorrow is Lamine Yamal's number 10's debut, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm
It's
very
big.
excited. Yeah, I remember when Ansu Fati got the number 10 and how excited I was for him because he was such a young prospect. There was so much promise on him. And I know Lamine wants that pressure. He thrives under pressure. So even if it's preseason, there's gonna be all eyes on him.
Yeah, exactly. It says Barca Ballin, do you think that will Gili Fernandez if we don't give him a spot in the first team? I don't understand what he meant by that.
I think he's saying, do you think we'll sell Guillermo Fernandez if we don't give him a spot in the first team?
I don't think so. I don't know why he would be demanding to start. I mean, he has to. This is why the preseason games are important for these players. It means the world, dude.
Yeah,
Rooney Bargi can go from preseason to Barca B. There's no in between. Like you need to earn yourself a spot. This is
yeah,
as important of a preseason for these players as they'll ever be in their lives. Can you imagine getting your first time as a player, right? Let's say you're the Torrents, right? This is the first shot you get. May not be the only one, but this is the first shot you get at the start, not the starting 11, but at a roster spot for next season.
yeah.
And we saw this with Bargili. A lot of people ask me for Bargili. Why not talking so much about Bargili? You don't know what these players are going to become. And he didn't make the 26 cut. He didn't make it. So it's not that he's bad, but uh, they have to show these games are extremely important for these
Yeah.
players. And at the end of the day, like it's just going to be up to them. So we'll see what he has to show, and yeah. So any other questions you got, Kevin, before we wrap it up? And we're probably just going to be ending this show in like I may stay for like another 10 minutes or whatever. But if you gotta leave, that's totally fine, man. I totally understand.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't really have many questions. No.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. So this was it. Nobody really believes in company like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a great point. Nobody really, he's not regarded as one of the best coaches out there. So I don't think Bayern Munich right now is a top job opportunity or a top opportunity for clubs, for players, right? Who the biggest players, especially like Luis Diaz, he's already playing at Liverpool.
yeah,
You're not that hot chick like Barcelona, dude. Barcelona, you get so many eyes on you. Well, if you're playing at Barca, yeah, that dude. There's so many fans in the world, bro. There's
yeah,
so many fans, and playing at Barcelona, it's huge. Even like Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, when he went to Juventus, it was not the same, bro. He
yeah.
wasn't. His fans were watching him, but the world wasn't watching anymore.
Right. Yeah. I don't even know how company landed this job because he was managing Burnley, who ended up getting relegated. I'm pretty sure they got relegated and he left. So I have no
He
idea how he
didn't even
landed
prove
that job.
himself.
I think like Bayern Munich hired him off the strength that he was under Pep Guardiola. I think that's the only weight that he has on his name as a coach, at least.
Yeah, exactly. I do have a question. Who is your captain over Ter Stegen? Because Ter Stegen, right? He lost the captaincy right now,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I think
who do you think we should give it to?
I think we should give it to Kunde. I think Kunde or hold on, let me think right. Let me give this a good thought rather than just
Some
thinking.
people saying Lewandowski, they're saying Lamine Yamal, and they're saying
Oh,
Pedri.
I think Lamine Yamal is too young. We're already putting so much pressure on him with giving him the number 10. The only reason I would say Kunde is because he's proven to be like an Iron Man for us. He
Hmm.
played, like you said, 100 games for club and country, and he's really trying to lock down on our team. He just signed a long-term contract. I think he's a very strong contender to get the captaincy.
Yeah. So I see. To me, I think um, Lamine Yamal. I don't even Messi. Messi didn't get it until like later in his career. He wasn't like when he was young. He wasn't a captain. And I honestly I think for a winger to be a captain, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like it's like
yeah,
I don't know. It might just be me. I would definitely think Kunde is a great option. By the way, I should say this: our new captain is Rafinha, but I want Rafinha to be the number
yeah,
one captain. I don't
yeah,
know if that's possible. I think as there's something politics involved in like
yeah.
it's supposed to be seniority or something like that. But I think that Rafinha should be the number one. He is the one who is always igniting the troops. He's the one who gets hurt the most. It pains him to fail every time we lose. He's the one that gets hurt the most. I can see it in his eyes. I can see it in his body language. And he's such a leader for this team. I don't
Yeah.
know why he's not the number one. And this is Rafinha the man and should be the captain. Yes, every game Rafinha should be the captain, in my opinion. I don't
That's
think it should be Araujo. I don't think it should be anyone else. It should definitely be Rafinha.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I completely overlooked Rafinha just because I was thinking of like more defenders, traditional captain options. But I agree. Rafinha, he lives, breathes, and dies for this team. He'd be a great option.
Yeah, that he would probably be the best option out there, as far as who is the better leaders, right? What is going on, Dali? A la Madrid, get the likes up, guys. I agree with getting the likes up, but I don't agree with the a la Vissel Barça, right?
Type,
And
yeah,
that sounds a little better for Madrid fans. It's all fun and games, man. I appreciate you stopping by, Dali. What is going on, man? Let me know who's gonna win La Liga. It's no point to make Lamine a captain. He's a boy who needs to grow into a man first.
I
And I think
totally agree.
Messi did this. I think Messi must have played, I don't know, 8 years or maybe even more. Maybe he played a decade before he became a captain. Do you
Yeah,
recall? I can't recall exactly how many games he was into it, but I do remember Messi being the captain late in his career at Barca, not early,
yeah,
not the other way around. So I don't want Lamine Yamal to be the
yeah.
captain.
I also think Messi was a captain later in his years because he's not that like outspoken leader. Like he's not a very vocal guy. He's a quiet guy. Like it takes a lot to really rattle him and take him out of like, his mentality. He's kind of like a more of a shadow player, even though
Yeah.
he's the most dominant. He's just not like super vocal like Rafinha. He wouldn't make a post after a strong game on Instagram.
It's crazy that Ter Stegen is our captain number one because whoever thought that a goalkeeper is a good captain because there has to be in their box, right? And then they
Yeah,
cannot talk to the referee sometimes when the ball is on the other side end of the field.
right.
So I never really like goalkeepers being the captains. To be honest with you, I think I like defenders be captains, like Virgil van Dijk. That's the role of a captain that I like. That's why I like Araujo when he became, but he obviously it kind of looks silly now that he
Yeah,
doesn't even have a roster spot and he's a captain.
yeah,
But that's not normally, it doesn't matter sometimes. But my point is, you got to give it to somebody who is more outspoken, but it has to be a leader,
yeah.
and no better leader in Barcelona squad than Rafinha. And I think the chat agrees. I've seen a lot of people here saying Rafinha. And by the way, Kevin, if you have to go, it's totally fine. And you can stay, you can leave it. Just let me know. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I think I'm about to dip, bro. I appreciate you so much for having me on.
Yeah.
Big up
Thank you for
everybody.
stopping, bro. We'll probably have you on sometime in the future.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. Big up everybody in the chat.
All
Appreciate
right.
you
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you. So guys, who's going to be Torrent's replacement? I don't know who would be Torrent's replacement. To be honest with you, I think I don't know why you're looking for Torrent's replacement at this point. I mean, so Rafinha is my first choice. Yeah, Rafinha, you're totally right. Rafinha will be my first choice as well. Let me check, you guys. How we doing on the likes? Can we get to at least 55 likes? There's 71 people watching. I would appreciate it if you smash the like button. If you get in the chat, I'm reading the chats right now before I end the show. The show is literally ended. If there's something you want me to touch on, just put it in the comments. Let me know. But also like the stream. I'm trying to get to at least 55 likes. So guys, I would appreciate it. Yeah. So what is going on, man? It says De Jong is my other option. He has been through a lot of Barca. You make a great point. He's started at the team. He's in the starting 11. Frankie De Jong, it's a great option for Barcelona to be a captain. I think he's not been mentioned enough, and I think he's more outspoken. Sometimes I've seen Frankie like get upset when something goes wrong, and he goes to the ref and like, "What do you mean?" Like he'll complain in a nice way. He does not like he. Sometimes he gets him in the wrong. In the wrong by getting a yellow card. So maybe being a captain may not be so bad, right? But I think he would be a good captain. No, I'm not gonna lie. That's a good one. Says Neuer is a good captain. Yeah, it's not that goalkeepers are bad captains. I'm just saying, by the time they have to run up the field to complain to the referee, I mean that's the only thing, right? Buffon was a captain. No, even Iker Casillas was a captain. I'm not saying goalkeepers shouldn't be captains. I know Iker Casillas was a captain as well. So yeah, Rafinha, Martinez, Pedri, Cigar, and Kunde sounds good as captains. Yeah, I want Rafinha. Pedri will be a good one, but I think for some reason, I think De Jong, it's a little older. It's a little bit more like he can impose his will. So I would like Frankie a little bit better. We need a world class striker and a CB to win the UCL. Yeah, you're right, but I could push back and say, well, PSG won the UCL and they didn't have a striker. They didn't have a world class striker, so it can be done. You just have to have a good defense. So which is a good point. You said a CB, and I agree. Maybe I think next season Inigo Martinez will have his contract run out, and I don't think we're going to be renewing. And I think at that point, Barcelona, dude, that's why I want Barca to save their money. I want Barcelona to save up their money because don't spend it right now. Wait till next year. Do what Liverpool did. The Liverpool didn't do anything last season, and what you do is you get rid of Martinez. You'll get rid of maybe Araujo at that point or whatever. Let's see what Araujo does this season, and you'll get rid of like Lewandowski leaves, and then you'll get a world class striker, and you can get a world class CB like a Konate, like a Saliba. You can get maybe hell maybe even a Van Dijk wants to get a move. Who knows? But having the money and having that leverage, it goes a long way. If you guys know what I mean. So Rafinha deserves to be the captain, but Lamine is still too young. I think we all agree on that. Yeah, we should have signed a striker in 2026. All okay, no, it says we should sign a striker in 2026. All options are moving. Yes, remember Real Madrid waited 5 years for Kylian Mbappe, and they are here now, but they waited a long time. They play with Joselu. Okay, they won a Champions League with Joselu. So Barcelona, sometimes you just got to be patient. Wait till next season. We'll have a better financial situation next season, and we can go after. This is why it bumped me out that Isaac left the club. Not that he left the club, but he wants to leave Newcastle. You guys know what I'm saying. He wants to leave Newcastle. So yeah. So this one says Rafinha Pedri captain. Digital footprint score prediction tomorrow. That's interesting. I love it. I think tomorrow Barcelona wins. It's a preseason game, and preseason teams, when you're paying a team like Barcelona, right? You're not paying them to score 10 goals on you. So that's one thing that you guys got to know. So I think Barcelona wins tomorrow 5-1, 5-2. Probably Rashford scores a goal or a couple assists, and I know Lewandowski will probably score. Lamine will probably have a couple assists somewhere around there as well. I would say probably like a 5-2. I would say 5-2. I know we're probably gonna let them score. It's their home. They're paying for it. Don't look too much into these types of things, guys. When will we be able to spend money like other clubs? Man, I'm tired of this FFP bullshit. We're new players away from winning everything. Yeah, we're a few players away from winning everything. Yes, I get your point. I get your frustration. And to answer your question, that will be next season. Next season, Barcelona. That's why I didn't want them to spend the money on Nico. But if they would have spent it on Nico, it would have been fine because we get a player for the next 4 years. But now that we didn't spend the money and we just get a loan for Rashford, so let's say that Rashford doesn't work, right? Let's just put it into perspective. Let's just say he didn't work. We tried it, didn't work. Okay, so Rashford leaves, Lewandowski leaves, Inigo Martinez most likely leaves, maybe Araujo leaves. So that's 5 exits. That's 5 players, and that's Ter Stegen leaves. 6 people, 6 players. That clears up a lot of the cap space, and you can spend. But you're back to the 1-1 rule, and you have all the money that you made last season, which was almost €1 billion. And then this season, if we have another successful season, we're going to make a lot more money. And we are going to be sitting really pretty in 2026 when it comes to just rebuilding and rebooting. We can go after players like Konate on defense for next season. I think it's going to be a free agent. We're going to get into a bidding war with Real Madrid. We are going to go after a player like Isaac. This is why I don't want Isaac to leave, guys, because I was really hoping that he can wait one more year and we can get Isaac or Julian Alvarez next season. So that would be 2 players, and we can really go after maybe even potentially another defender, depending on what Araujo does. But to answer your question, next season we will be in a much better situation, and not to mention that the stadium will be completely finished, and there's going to be a lot of players who are going to want to come to Barca to just kind of get that feeling of being in the new stadium. The best person is Pedri. It's not about shouting; it's about leading the team in crucial moments. Yeah, but being a captain is a little bit about shouting because you have to set the tone with the referee, and that's something that's always been very important. And I've been part of teams, and not the best players get to be the captains. Okay, the players who have been through the mud, the players who can talk to a referee, that are not shy, those are the players who get to be the captain. Um, we lack world class CB. Inigo Martinez is getting old. So Inigo Martinez had one of the best seasons I've seen from a CB last season. Doesn't necessarily mean that this season is going to be a success because he's 1 year older. Lewandowski, 1 year older. I think this is my wild take. Lewandowski and Inigo Martinez are two players next season that really worry me. And these two players, they're gonna be a year older into their legs, right? So I'm a little worried. So the fact that we have Araujo kind of helps a little bit. Maybe he can finally get the highline next season. I'm hoping, but honestly, you're right. I really think that we should not have these players relying on old players, and I think they are both 1 year too late in Barcelona. But we'll see you next season. Hector Ford, time to shine. Maybe he had his time. He played in Inter Milan, and he pissed me off, by the way, taking that shot when he could have given it to Lamine. Barca volume. Rashford can't do well against the low block. Flick must come up with a plan and how we can score more goals against Getafe, Leganés, Las Palmas, and Flick needs to fix it now. Alexandrina. Okay, so you're right. I said this when we were going after Rashford. I made a video about Lookman. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I said Lookman is the guy. Unfortunately, we didn't go after him. And when in that video, I said Rashford doesn't press. He likes to float. He doesn't play defense. And then he likes to attack the space. He's very well in counters. So he's not suited for the type to play up against low blocks, which is kind of my concern when it comes to Rashford. He may shine a little bit more in the Champions League when teams are playing more punch for punch, but in La Liga, he may struggle because he's a player who attacks space. He needs space, and yeah, I've said this in my channel. Julian Alvarez next year, 2026, dude. I have a really soft spot for Julian Alvarez, and Julian Alvarez is Flick's type of player. He presses, he plays defense, he has an amazing clinical touch. His finishing is insane. It's world class. The only thing that he doesn't have is box presence. He's not good on headers, even though he can score on headers, but he's not tall, right? He's not that tall. That's the only issue. But dude, Julian Alvarez will be insane. It would be one of those signings that you just know they're going to work. Let me put it to you like this. I would say Isaac, if he doesn't move yet, or Julian. Simply he went from winning everything in City to losing everything in Atleti. Dude, he made a good move because he proved a point. He proved a point that he can play as a starter for a top team, and he made that statement at Atletico Madrid. But in Manchester City, Pep Guardiola didn't want to start him, and I think that was a terrible mistake. I hope Newcastle doesn't sell Isaac. Man, we need him. Haaland won't leave City, and other options are not proven. Yeah, so that's why I'm so bummed. That's why I'm so bummed that that Isaac wants to leave right now. Dude, wait 1 more year, bro. Barcelona will come and get you next season. You need to play at Barca, dude. This is one thing that a lot of players still don't understand. When you're playing with Barca in Madrid, you get eyebrows you don't see in other clubs. We are one of the top clubs in the world. You guys, maybe here in America, you guys may not see these, but dude, in South America, I'm from El Salvador. Dude, all we watch is Madrid and Barca. And the same thing happens throughout the whole South American countries, dude. And you just become so relevant. And says FCBD money. The focus for our players will be to get back on the ball without getting hurt. The other team will be out to prove something. LOL. Yeah, you're talking about the preseason game. Yeah, that's the one thing. Don't look too much into preseason games. Teams are not taking it seriously, and it's all for the show, and it's all for the money, guys. And it's all. I look the way I look at the preseason. I look at it as of the preseason is more for the up and coming players, those players who want to earn a spot in the squad. Yeah. So I'm gonna go faster now. I'm past an hour and a half, and I want to get to every chat. We have a team to win everything next season. Rashford will stay. I'm hoping he will stay. How much can we spend in 2026 in big wages off the books? And then we are in the 1-1 rule. So I'm expecting Barca to get at least 250 million for next season. After all the exits. Chill fans, we fans should relax and focus on our current player and Lewy W. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, we need to smile. We need to smile more. Inigo will be a captain 100%, but why would you give him a captaincy if he's leaving next season? Brother, can we please go for Matita? I don't know what the fuss is with him, um, but I want him. If Alvarez, if Alvarez cool, if Isa cool, but I don't overlook second tier players like if they improve under better team. Yeah, dude, you're right. Who remembers Luke De Jong? Oh my goodness, dude, Luke De Jong. Everyone was upset when we got Luke De Jong, and what did he do? Score, score in the UEFA Champions League semifinals, score in the final, right? If I remember correctly, and he was a major hit, and nobody was talking about it. Nobody was excited about him. So there's something to be said about the second tier players who are cheaper or more hungry. I'm excited for Jeffrey Torrens. Me too. Tomorrow, I hope that he starts. Um, how is Atletico spending 200 mil after winning nothing? Well, Atletico Madrid is selling some players. They just sold Rodrigo de Paul. I think they have a couple other exits, and they're spending a lot of money because they made money from the Champions League, and they accumulated from a couple of years behind where they didn't spend the money. This is why they got the money from Julian Alvarez as well. So every team is a different situation. Plus, just making and going the deep runs in the Champions League earns you money. Barcelona got a lot of money from just making it to the semifinals. So it goes to show you how important it is to have a successful season. Even if you don't win anything, you can still have a high ticket. Says Flick. This fan Inigo is our best CB. Even if this a put out put out this whole 12 of yeah, I think you're saying that Inigo Martinez was our best center back. Yeah, I agree. I think he was better than Kubarsi. But next season, can he have the same season next year with a year older? Legs can go fast. Legs will go fast. Says, fucking kid, for good sake. If Ferran Torres do well next season, we will not buy a striker, even if Lewa leaves. I don't expect Ferran Torres to be the prolific striker for us. He most likely going to still be a backup. Even if he does well, he did well last season, and I don't know. I still Barcelona. The history of the team. If we have the money, we will go after a top striker. I just don't see any ifs and buts about it. I know you said it, but how is Flick gonna help Rashford with this? That's gonna be up to Flick. That's Flick's problem, not mine. But first we just have to see it and try it and see what happens. If it's not working, then he is gonna have to. That's on him. Rashford is gonna get his opportunities. It's his job to make the best of it. That's why he's making the big bucks. Lookman is the same profile as Rafinha. Rashford is a good stopgap. We get Leao or someone in 2026. Maybe we'll see. Alexander, he's not as good as Lewa. So I prefer Isaac, not Julian. Atletico won't sell. Atletico will sell, by the way. They'll take the money. Before we say that what Rashi can do and can't do, we should wait to see what he does first. We shouldn't determine what the player will do based on summer. Yeah, yeah, true, true. I agree. I know this club will not buy a striker. Like, are you talking about like this season, or are you talking about, um, or are you talking about next season? I'm from India. Most people support Madrid, Barça, and Messi, Ronaldo. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Playing for these teams just gives you a whole new world. The whole world, it feels like it's watching. The whole world is watching. Barça volume. Do you enjoy horror slasher movies like Scream and Halloween? That's a little random, but since you asked me, and by the way, chat, don't be shy. Ask random questions and ask questions about the past from Barcelona games, and I love to get into it. I enjoy movies like Scream and Halloween. By the way, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. I love watching scary movies, thrillers, and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm one of those. So yeah, so guys, thank you for being in the chat. We're gonna end the stream. I'm getting a little tired, a little fuzzed by the light. I got an hour and 41 minutes. I got 56 likes, guys. Like the stream before you go. I would really appreciate it. Give me a few comments after the stream ends. We'll get to 60 likes, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. It's the preseason. It's already started. It's kicking off in just a few hours, guys. That's insane. Expect, I put a poll out, and I put out a poll that says, you guys want to stream after the game for a post game show, or do you guys want to stream later at a better time? Everyone and most everybody voted that they wanted a stream after the game. But I thought it was so surprising that you guys want to stream after the game, which essentially for me, it's 6 a.m. No, I'm sorry, it's 5 a.m. So the game will end for me. The game's going to end at 5 a.m. and you guys want a post game show. So now I am going to be doing the post game show after the game. But guys, now it's your turn to tune in. I don't want to do this post game and turn out that I'm gonna watch by myself. I'm basically talking to myself. I don't want to do a post game show by myself. Don't leave me alone. So you guys voted, most of you did, and you guys wanted a post game show after the game. So that's 5 a.m. for me. So I am gonna do it. I'm gonna. If nobody tunes in, it'll be hilarious. It'll be funny, and it'll be a great story to tell too. But no, for real, I do want you guys to tune in tomorrow after the game, dude. As soon as the game ends, you guys will have. I'm gonna create the live stream right now. That will basically let you guys know what time I'm going live. But it'll most likely be like 15 minutes after the game. I'm gonna go live, and if you guys tune in, will mean the world to me. Let me see what else you guys. Thank you, Miguel. Barça Volume. We love watching, discussing, and participating in these streams. Hey, man, thank you for tuning in. And every time I love that you guys are interacting. It makes the show flow a little bit better when you guys are in the chat, because I can pick and fill in a few gaps as far as the topics, and talk about what you guys want to talk about, and also talk what I want to talk about. So it makes a perfect show, right? It says time zone are tricky. You've got to figure out from where most of your followers tune in. Yeah, I know that's true, but my goal is to do a live stream after the game. So, but I'll look into that. I'm gonna go look at the numbers and see when most of my followers tune in. If not, I probably may change my mind and just do the show at 9 a.m., which is my time that I normally do it. But guys, thank you for watching. Means the world to me, and I'll catch you guys after the Barcelona game. So good luck to the team. I think one goal from Rafinha, one goal from Lewandowski, two assists from Lamine Yamal.